Hello, this is Dan the Nature Man coming to you once again from Mount Olivet Conference and Retreat Center. Today we're going to look at some of the changes that have occurred in the landscape at the Retreat Center. Change is normal and it's ongoing. We all see changes in our own lives and bodies over the years. And we're going to take a look at some of the features of the Retreat Center that have changed over the years as well. So let's head on outside and we'll take a look. Here we are down at the Marsh Walk, the new Marsh Walk, and this is one of the places that has changed over the year. I've noticed changes even since I've been here these last 20 years. Behind me here is a swath of cattails, and when I first came, I had set up wood duck houses out back here in two different places, and they have wide open water around them. Well, I had to take them down because the cattails have continually encroached outward onto the lake and completely engulfed the wood duck houses to make them unusable. So the cattails have been slowly advancing. Chub Lake here is about 300 acres in size, and the deepest point is 10 to 13 feet. And this is also the headwaters of Chub Creek, which eventually flow into Lake Bisbee down by Cannon Falls. So this is a relatively shallow lake that is slowly filling in. Another sign that we see of changes occurring here are out in the open area here. As you get past the cattails, even in the main lake, there's a big patch of water lilies now that didn't used to be there when I even started 20 years ago. So there's been lots of changes in the vegetation and the amount of growth here on the shores of Chub Lake. I'm in the Prairie right now. We have about 30 acres of native prairie at the Retreat Center. Now, if you were to go back in 1976 when the Retreat Center was purchased, this whole area here, 30-some acres, would have been in farmland and so into different types of crops. So back in the early 1990s, they decided to retire the farmland, and so they decided to turn it into prairie. So now we have this nice expanse of different forbs, prairie forbs that are out here, as well as prairie grasses, which will, as we get into August, they'll start bolting up their seed heads and get from anywhere from 5 to 7 feet tall. So the prairie is another feature that has didn't exist when the Retreat Center was bought, but it's been here now for over close to 30 years. So here I am back at the main campus at the Retreat Center, and if I was standing here 20 plus years ago, you would see something different. There would be a playground here. The playground was in use many years. We had King's Kids and a lot of groups, and over the years that playground deteriorated further and further, and finally it came to a point where we had to decide to take it down and build something new or go a different route. So most of our guest usage was adult oriented, so we made a decision several years ago to go to a patio. So we had some gifts from generous members at Mount Olivet and to get us going on this project. So now we have this beautiful patio area where people have places to sit in the shade in the morning and sun in the afternoon. We have this gorgeous fireplace also, so it makes a very comforting place to be in the evening as well if people want to fire. This is a nice outdoor enhancement that we have that's been added over the years. Now I'm in the tennis court. So it doesn't look necessarily like a tennis court anymore. A number of years ago there was lots of cracks in the tennis court and a great big dip, and it was going to be an expensive project to redo, and we had very few guests who actually used the tennis court. So we brainstormed, and our chef at the time thought about how about growing some food in the tennis court. So here we are. We had some scouts build some of the boxes here, and volunteers build the other boxes. Volunteers cut holes, and behind me is also a little orchard where we have apple trees, and we have experimental peach tree, blueberries, and honeyberries. And then the boxes, there's 12 of them now, and we use this food for feeding our guests. So it's been a big hit with guests. They really like the idea that we're growing food on site. I try to grow everything as organic as possible, and we'll grow tomatoes and peas and onions, peppers, carrots, lettuce, spinach, green beans, so a wide variety of different vegetables for the retreat center. So I think it's been overall a plus win. So as we go through life, history sort of gives us a glimpse into the past and a window into the future. And we can learn from these things as we go along, and as we retreat where we are, God journeys with us through these changes. Changes will still always be with us as well. So thank you for the visit.